Tonight on News 5 Live, Belizean ambassador charged with rape. U.S. release human rights report on Belize. And barge in Placencia being monitored for continuing water pollution. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package include 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Or you can drop off all completed forms into the Dropbox slot at the nearest branch office. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
¿Sabías que Hospital Galenia modificó los protocolos de seguridad y prevención de salud ante la pandemia de COVID-19 para evitar contagios?
Se garantiza que todo paciente que llega a quirófano está libre de COVID y durante su periodo de recuperación no va a tener contacto con un paciente infectado.
Hospital Galenia, más que un hospital.
I've always enjoyed the different flavors of my country. Every nook and cranny has its own unique taste.
Our history, rich with culture. We've come so far since our independence. Our flag, rivers, mountains, our people, diverse and strong.
Looking back, I am proud and honored. We must continue to preserve and conserve our culture and country for the next generation.
This is our Belize. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
Compostable plastics. To understand what a compostable plastic is, we need to know that composting is a natural way to recycle decomposed organic material like oranges or banana peels. So, a compostable plastic is similar to the banana peel in the sense that it also undergoes biological decomposition in a compost site and doesn't leave any toxic residue. In fact, it breaks down into carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds, and biomass at a similar rate of compostable materials. This is great because once properly disposed of, compostable plastic food packaging would be broken down in a manner much kinder to the environment compared to plastics. The recycled materials would return to Earth quickly and safely as soil when disposed of in the right environmental conditions and temperatures. It's important to note that for decomposition to occur, all compostable products must reach a sanitary landfill, where there is proper management of the waste through disposal and treatment. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, April 20th. I am Sabrina Daly. He holds the position of co-agent for Belize when we present our memorial to the ICJ in response to Guatemala. But today, a dark cloud looms over the future of Ambassador Alexis Rosado. The senior diplomat was escorted before Belmopan magistrate Janely Villanueva Penil this afternoon, where he was read a slew of charges, including 7 counts of aggravated assault and 2 counts of rape. The complainant is said to be a woman in her 20s who alleges that the incidents date back several years from when she was a minor. Ambassador Rosado appeared before Magistrate Villanueva Penil, who offered him bail of $5,000 and adjourned the matter until July 6th. Today, Rosado was accompanied by attorney René Mateno Jr., while Director of Public Prosecutions Sherilyn Vidal appeared on behalf of the Crown. The allegations are serious against a senior diplomat who has long-standing service for Belize and who is well respected in the diplomatic corps. Before he was assigned to work with the Belize team at the ICJ in The Hague, Ambassador Rosado served as Ambassador of Belize to Guatemala and as a non-resident ambassador to Costa Rica, Honduras, and Panama. He has held the post of Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Belmopan for 6 years, at which time he was also head of the Joint Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade for 4 years. His other past titles include Ambassador to Belgium, co-chair of the Belize-Guatemala Joint Commission, Belize's alternate presidential commissioner to CELSAC and to SICA, High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Ambassador to the European Commission and European Union, and permanent representative to the World Trade Organization. Whether the charges brought today against him have any bearing on Rosado's current posting to Belize case at the ICJ is uncertain. We've contacted the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Eamon Courtney, who indicated that a press release on the matter would be forthcoming. The United States earlier this week published a record of the human rights situation in Belize. Tonight, News 5 takes a deep dive into Belize's 2021 Human Rights Report and shares some of its main findings. Some of the information is well known to the public, while other details have perhaps gotten less attention. Here is Dwayne Moody.
The report speaks of the arbitrary deprivation of life and references the shooting death of off-duty BDF soldier Jesse Escobar by a joint police and BDF patrol back on September 5th, 2021. The report says members of the patrol attempted to pervert the course of justice when they lied about what transpired during that deadly incident. It also made reference to the killing of 14-year-old Laddie Gillett at the hands of Police Corporal Kadim Martinez, as Gillett and a friend were heading back to the resort where they were staying with their family in Placencia. In that same vein, the report says that there were no reports of disappearances by or on behalf of government authorities. While Belize's constitution prohibits torture or other inhuman punishments, there were reports of abuse and use of excessive force by law enforcement. According to the report, in the first half of 2021, 25% of complaints to the Ombudsman Office were filed against police for abuse of power, harassment, and brutality. Also reported were allegations of inhuman treatment at the Central Prison. And then, up to the end of August, there were 105 registered complaints against the Belize Police Department, 60 investigations were conducted, and 14 officers were dismissed after tribunals found them guilty of offenses. Under Section 1D of the report, which speaks to arbitrary arrest and detention, the state of emergency for gangs is being cited, with police officers and soldiers being allowed to target criminal gangs through house raids, arrests, and imprisonment. Also included is the July 2021 ruling of the Supreme Court against citizen profiling by police officers without a clear cause for suspicion. Section 2 of the Human Rights Report speaks to respect for civil liberties, freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, religion, and freedom of movement. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the land borders remaining closed, there were exceptions to travel, and some foreign nationals who were imprisoned for immigration offenses could not exit the country and were therefore kept in prison beyond their sentence. On a positive note, the Belize government has made changes to processes, including the establishment of a refugee eligibility committee to protect refugees and to assist asylum seekers and vulnerable migrants. This section also speaks about access to basic services, employment, and temporary protection for these persons. When it comes to corruption and lack of transparency in government, Section 4 of the report says that allegations of corruption in government among public officials were numerous, but that in most cases, no substantial proof was presented. It cited the Commission of Inquiry into the sale of government assets between October 2019 and November 2020. As it relates to discrimination and societal abuses, the data revealed from the Belize Police Department is that 62% of reported sexual violence was against girls between the ages of 10 and 19. Women were the victims in 77% of the 1,794 domestic violence cases registered with the department up to the end of September 2021. Sexual assault was a problem in the BDF. While there is protection from sexual harassment in the workplace, no criminal cases have ever been brought under this law. While the report speaks to men's average earning per month being more than that of women, it was primarily due to the position held and restrictions on women working in certain industries. Child abuse was another section of the report that stood out, and it was clear the abuse of children occurred. Underage girls were victims of sexual abuse and mistreatment, in most cases in their own or a relative's home. The data collected from the Family Services Division in the Ministry of Human Development registered 220 cases of sexual abuse and assaults on minors by mid-2021. In 2020, there were 366 for the entire year. The report also makes reference to the sugar daddy arrangements as it relates to the exploitation of children. While the law defines a child as anyone younger than 18, children 16 and 17 years old can consent to engaging in sexual activity. Also, while the legal minimum age to marry is 18, persons ages 16 and 17 may marry with consent from parents, legal guardians, or judicial authorities. According to UNICEF, 29% of women ages 20 to 49 were married or cohabitating before age 18. The report goes on to speak about the social stigma of HIV and AIDS and acts of violence, criminalization, and other abuses based on sexual orientation and gender identity. And Section 7 wraps up the report with workers' rights, touching on freedom of association and the right to collective bargaining, prohibition of child labor, and minimum age of employment and acceptable conditions of work. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The report is used to reflect on the U.S. government's commitment to putting human rights at the center of its foreign policy. This just in, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has issued a statement on the situation with Ambassador Alexis Rosado. The release reads, quote, Alexis Rosado was charged with serious offenses of a sexual nature in the Belmopan Magistrate Court. At the direction of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Immigration, Ambassador Rosado has relinquished his diplomatic postings overseas. The case involving Ambassador Rosado is expected to proceed according to law. End quote. Coming up, how does the business community feel about the cannabis bill? Do they support it or not? We have the results of a survey from the Chamber of Commerce just ahead. Stay with us.
Digi, the premier name in voice and data, is also the country's leading provider of innovative services and solutions for small business and enterprise. At Digi Business, we offer solutions, tools, and applications to support your business needs. Reduce costs, improve efficiency, and excel in a changing world where no idea is too big and no task is too small. From technology advising to design implementation and management, our team of qualified solution sales and specialists can develop a reliable and robust infrastructure, allowing you to spend more time on what matters most, your business. Visit us online to explore how DigiBusiness innovative products and solutions can help your business reduce costs and improve efficiency.
My name is Janine and I live in Belize City. I've been a social worker for 2 years now. Social work is actually a difficult job. It takes a lot from you, not physically, but mentally. I went for an interview once for a job in dealing with youths at risk. And while in the interview, I was asked the question if I'm sure I wanted the job because it was dealing with troubled youth. And the interviewer looked at me and said, well, we would prefer a male for the job. I was hurt at first because I thought I was as qualified as the male to get the job. And it really stuck with me because then I thought, if I am as qualified, why wasn't I chosen? Why would you want to eliminate 50% of the workforce? People are supposed to be hired based on merit and not gender.
Towering above us, they give us oxygen and food, tools and shelter, and create some of the most biodiverse habitats on Earth. As the biggest plants on the planet, trees are important for life. In fact, research shows that within minutes of being surrounded by trees, your blood pressure drops, your heart rate slows down, and your stress levels plummet. In Belize, we are blessed to have 60% of our national territory under forest cover and nearly half of our national territory safeguarded in the form of protected areas. Protected areas are safe havens that preserve our forests and jungles of Belize from mass destruction and extraction, or as it's known, deforestation. And as Belize's population increases, it's opening a gateway for unsustainable rural land use. Logging and farming also significantly contributes to deforestation. We need healthy forests, as they absorb carbon dioxide and other harmful gases from the atmosphere. So without them, the rate of climate change accelerates and greenhouse gases in the atmosphere increases. Without forests, soil would wash away, leaving behind a barren wasteland where no crops will grow, forcing farmers to move on and repeat this destructive cycle elsewhere. Like kidneys, trees control the flow and use of water by catching rain and slowly releasing it into rivers and streams or into groundwater below, which protects us from flooding. As the heart and lungs of the world, trees power and sustain ecosystems. They offer habitation both above and below the ground to numerous insects and bigger animals alike. By providing food and shelter, Belize's forests and jungles support life and rich biodiversity. Without trees, what will be left of our jewel? We must work together to combat the unsustainable use of land and illegal logging. We encourage you to preserve existing forest ecosystems and to support protected areas. A message from APAMO, the voice of Belize's protected areas.
The Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as a social partner, has polled its membership to get a pulse on their position on marijuana legalization. The results of the questionnaire were made official last Thursday, but the report flew under the radar during the Easter weekend, with the primary focus being placed on the church's effort to gather the requisite number of signatures to trigger a referendum. Tonight, we take a look at the questions that were asked, as well as the responses and what they mean in the context of the ongoing discussion. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
The legalization of recreational cannabis remains at the forefront of public discourse. It is a polarizing issue that is once again pitting the church against the state. While the church's referendum team continues to vet the signatures that it has garnered, the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry has polled its membership to see where the private sector stands on the matter. 3 questions were put to participants in the context of the Cannabis and Hemp Control and Licensing Bill 2022. The first question: do you support the legalization of recreational cannabis as it would be so introduced via the Cannabis and Hemp Control and Licensing Bill 2022? Of the 76 responses, 50% said no, 36.8% said yes, and 13.2% remained neutral. The second question: do you support the idea that the question of the legalization of marijuana should be asked via a public referendum? Of the 77 responses, 65% said yes, while 35% said no. The third question: do you believe that the legalization of marijuana can have an impact on your business? If yes, please provide a brief description of the type of anticipated impact. Interestingly, of the 55 responses, a little over 15 said there would be no impact. A little over 15 also indicated that the negative impact would be on employee performance and safety. The other 3 were evenly split between negative implications for commercial banking, negative impact on public safety, and positive impact. It is important to note that these figures may not reflect the entirety of the business community. As an update to the church's petition activity, this afternoon, the evangelicals and the Catholics were vetting 500 signatures, while the United Democratic Party was responsible for vetting 200. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Last Thursday, we reported on a vessel that was leaking soot into the Caribbean Sea near Placencia. It was the second time in many months that the vessel had been found to have caused the leak and needed repair. The Port Authority imposed a prohibition to sail order upon the vessel until adequate repairs had been conducted. And according to Port Commissioner Major Gilbert Suazo, fines would be forthcoming. But today, there are new reports that the same vessel was out working and that it had left a trail of soot of between 2 and 3 miles long. News 5 asked Major Suazo what happened and what actions are being taken to ensure that the vessel does not create any more problems.
We do have maritime enforcement officers who are checking periodically to ensure that that vessel remains where we had it berthed. So yesterday, apparently before daybreak, it was reported to us that the vessel left its location, and then when it was reported to us that we also ascertained that in fact the vessel had sailed. So we have since subsequently responded by stating to them, reinforcing that the prohibition for sailing remains in effect. We have also collaborated with the Belize Coast Guard, who have now deployed vessel and troops to ensure that that vessel will not sail at all. And we've also collaborated with the Department of Environment. So the three organizations combined together are ensuring that that vessel will remain where it is, and Port Authority and the Department of Environment will definitely be bringing charges on the owner and on the captain of the vessel. The vessel is not to move until it is certified to have that the engine has been properly rectified by a certified engineer or a mechanic, which will be verified by Port Authority and the Department of Environment even before it will be authorized to sail.
Suazo says the owner or operator of the vessel will be given an opportunity to settle the matter out of court if they so choose. But when we contacted the owner, Albert Lowen, this afternoon, he explained that he never violated the prohibition to sail order because he didn't know about the order, and two, the vessel never sailed. He said they simply removed the vessel to repair it. But regardless of Lowen's claim, the Belize Coast Guard has the vessel under surveillance while the Department of Environment is investigating the severity of the leak. Sally Cho of the department explained that it was not any kind of pollution that occurred.
It's not leaking oil into the sea per se, but instead how the engine is operating and the location of the exhaust pipe. It's the exhaust coming out of the pipe that is so close to the water that when it's operating, it mixes with the water and then leaves that film on the surface of the water. It's when the vessel is operating that's when the film is emitted from the engine. So if it doesn't sail, then there's no emission into the sea. So what the department, so Port has their legislation that they are looking under, for which they are issuing the prohibition on sale, and any fines could be levied under their legislation. Under our legislation, it would be different fines levied or different charges levied, because we are looking at the protection of the environment, while Port Authority is looking at the vessel itself and its ability or safety to navigate the sea.
So tonight, the Belize Coast Guard is keeping watch over the vessel to ensure it is not moved again, as Lieutenant Kenrick Thomas informed us.
We continue to have a surface asset assigned to this duty to ensure that there is no operation from this craft, and the Coast Guard will continue to maintain such presence to mitigate their operation. We maintain 24 hours watch on the craft, so as to ensure that once it goes into operation, we are there to intercept.
After the break, the Prime Minister meets with some U.S. members of Congress while in Barbados when we come back.
In the moments that matter the most, for your health and well-being, when the choice is yours, choose the brand you have always trusted. Crystal Water. Taste you can trust.
Todo beliceño merece tener una conexión de internet de calidad, rápida y confiable en su hogar. Para clases en línea y trabajo desde casa, es la nueva forma de vida. Diginet es el proveedor número 1 de servicio de fibra óptica, impulsando la transición digital de Belice. Y ahora nuestro servicio de Diginet es aún más accesible con nuestro nuevo plan de entrada. Por tiempo limitado, tú y tu familia pueden disfrutar de 20 megabits por segundo por solamente $49 mensuales. No más clases perdidas ni reuniones virtuales interrumpidas. Te está costando mucho tiempo y dinero. Diginet es mejor que cualquier opción de cable o servicio inalámbrico. Visita cualquier Digistore hoy y suscríbete para la conexión más rápida y confiable de Internet para el hogar en Belice. Ven a ver lo que te has estado perdiendo. El mismo servicio de fibra de alta calidad, rápido y confiable, ahora a un precio aún más bajo. Para más información, visita www.livedigi.com/Diginet. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
Welcome to Design Depot. All in one place. Shop brands you know and trust, like Kohler. Welcome, GE Appliances.
Welcome,
Oran Windows.
Welcome,
Tiles from around the world.
Welcome,
Sherwin-Williams Paint and Coating. Visit us today at Mile 3 on the Philip Golson Highway or call us at 223-3768. Design Depot. All in one place.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
The Prime Minister John Briceño is in Bridgetown, Barbados, attending a Caribbean Financial Access Roundtable. The event includes CARICOM leaders and United States congressional representatives. The PM posted to his Facebook page today that he met with Congresswoman Maxine Waters of California and Representative Sylvia Garcia of Texas. Discussions at the roundtable included the de-risking and correspondent banking, issues that have presented challenges to a number of Caribbean countries. In higher education news, earlier this month, the University of Belize had a 6-student delegation participate in a virtual model organization of American States General Assembly for the English-speaking Caribbean and historically Black universities. The UB delegation included Maslin Hansen, Mark Woodeye, Pedro Cal, Joshua Seguro, Jaden Coleman, and Colin Smith. They were mentored by April Martinez, history lecturer, and Lynn Mara Rosado, social sciences lecturer. The UB delegates were tasked with representing the Republic of Haiti and placed into one of 3 committees to tackle judicial, economic, political, health, and education issues of the region and to create resolutions on them. MOAS is a simulation of the OAS General Assembly in which university students represent delegations of the OAS member states. The primary purpose is to promote democratic values and acquaint students with the role and structure of the OAS and the Inter-American Agenda. It's that time of the year again as the annual Book Week begins this Friday. Events kick off with a reading by Mexican author Oscar de la Borbolla at 10 a.m. at the Leo Bradley Library in Belize City. Other libraries countrywide will be hosting both in-person and online activities. These include the announcement of the Belize Literary Prize winner, conversations among authors, book launches, and a literary evening at Wildlife Atmosphere in San Ignacio, April 23rd. The public is invited to enjoy all of the free events sponsored by the National Library Service and Information System, the Belize Book Industry Association, the Mexican Embassy in Belize, Wildfire Atmosphere, and the National Institute of Culture and History. Book Week is being celebrated this year under the theme Celebrate Writing, Celebrate Reading, Celebrate Belize. Just ahead, a new gym in Punta Gorda focuses on healthy lifestyles. But first, here is a weather update when we come back.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Hola usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Deja mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
Compostable plastics. To understand what a compostable plastic is, we need to know that composting is a natural way to recycle decomposed organic material like oranges or banana peels.
¿Sabías que Hospital Galenia modificó los protocolos de seguridad y prevención de salud ante la pandemia de COVID-19 para evitar contagios?
Garantizamos contener a los pacientes que allí estamos manejando y disminuir riesgos de infecciones para el resto del hospital.
Hospital Galenia, más que un hospital.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Meet 22-year-old Darnell Oden from Punta Gorda. He's a physical trainer at Payne Fitness Gym who is dedicating his time to youth empowerment. He has also been hosting basketball activities since last year. Oden spoke with News 5 about working on youth development programs through sports.
We're currently working on a youth developmental program
for the ages of U12 and also the U16. I also do running events, every month, distance running. And I'm also a part of the football here in Toledo, the FFB. I'm also, I also joined a group with young guys, the Adelaide Sporting Department. I was one of the first guys to ever make it on the youth national team here in Belize. I was also studying abroad in Mexico, playing basketball and doing my school, and I, traveled the southern part of our region, in the Central American countries, for sporting activities. So I feel that, there is no hold back. Once we work, and put time in it, we can achieve anything.
Paini Fitness is on a mission to get residents in Punta Gorda into living healthy lifestyles. Physical trainer Darnell Oden speaks of motivating people.
I'm trying to motivate, a lot of folks, a lot of older folks and even younger because of, the different types of sickness going around at different ages, COVID-19, So, well, my main focus is to, develop the gym, into something bigger, develop it into a lifestyle here in Toledo. So, in the later ages, you're not, health concerned. My gym is located in the vicinity of the Toledo Sporting Complex. That's right behind the Toledo Airstrip. The prices varies, different days, different prices.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.